Oh boy, we got ourselves an active jet stream on your Snowplow News Norcast weather video, and this has been plowing into the northwestern and central United States, bringing in a lot of these clipper systems that are moving fast and certainly making airplanes go 100 to 200 miles per hour faster than they would have otherwise due to this strong wind. So here's the scoop. As we go into Thursday, system exits to the right, lake effect snow showers off the Great Lakes as this trough hangs around. Some spots in the high terrain, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, in towards areas of Michigan where that band sets up, sees several inches of accumulation with multiple lakes kind of contributing. Then our next system to watch at another developing clipper system, Twin Cities down into the Indianapolis area. This is going to drop off towards the south and east. That'll turn the winds around for any kind of lake effect. And this is going to be a moderate to briefly heavy batch of snow as it moves off towards the east-southeast. It will start to run into drier air and fade away a little bit, but it's a robust low pressure system. Chicago, Columbus, in towards portions of West Virginia, but as it gets into the nation's capital, the Baltimore area, it's going to start to kind of fade apart a little bit. The Appalachians will break it up a bit, and then it moves off towards the east and generally fades away with more lake effect snow and a big Arctic blast back behind it. This will be around for Saturday in spots with a little bit of changeable wind direction. So watch this kind of shift around slightly. And then as we go in towards late Saturday night and Sunday, this other clipper system, St. Louis, southern Indiana, portions of Kentucky, West Virginia, and then again kind of fading away as we get on in towards the mid-Atlantic coastline with a little bit more lake effect still left over. And then things start to quiet down a little bit more. Chance of a little clipper across the Great Lakes. This is looking pretty light, pretty brief. Otherwise, outside of the cloud cover Midwest to Northeast, we're going to be fairly quiet for a couple of days. We'll warm up. We'll push some warmer air into the east, and we'll see a developing system that will bring mostly rain versus snow, and it's going to be a very active pattern into the areas of the Pacific Northwest going into the middle portions of next week. All right, exciting stuff. So possible snowfall, yeah, the Cascades will do well, Western Canada as well, a little bit into the Northern Rockies, but yeah, Colorado, California, not so much. And then there's the couple of clipper paths and then our lake effect areas as well that will be picking up more in the way of snowfall. So you can kind of see here as we get into the middle portion of the country, this is a swath of 2 to 4 inches or so. Not too much to the north, but where you have those lake effect bands, a few to several inches of accumulation are likely. Pittsburgh should see a few inches of snow, same with West Virginia. Not a ton for eastern portions of Pennsylvania, not a ton for New Jersey. The DC area, maybe just a couple inches tops, and then into far interior northeast New England into Quebec. That's where we start to see several inches of snowfall most likely, but there's no major organized widespread winter storms. Plenty of wind though. Look at some of these wind gusts over the course of the next few days. Lots of gusts to 25, 35 miles per hour out into the higher terrain. You'll see those 40, 50 mile per hour plus gusts, multiple waves of some noticeable wind as we go on through the rest of the work week. And with that, how about some really cold temperatures? Wind chills get down back through the single digits, below zero, even well below zero, -30 or so Saturday morning. Here you go into Sunday, not much of a change. It's still super duper cold, extremely impressive cold upper Midwest into the plains. It's very chilly across Ohio, Pennsylvania, into areas of the Mid-Atlantic as well. Not much of a change for Monday either. Widespread cold air. Things do start to moderate after that. Major cold here starts to pull itself back on out, extremely hot across the west, and then it floods into the east. We will see a pretty nice warm up east. It doesn't last, but the heat across the west and into the plains certainly does at that point as we go towards Christmas. So still cold across much of the east for next week, but it starts to moderate. It backs off from west to east. This is impressive warmth across the west, and overall, once we get past, let's say, next Tuesday or Wednesday, it's going to be a warm pattern for about a 5-day stretch. Precipitation averages, for the most part, you're seeing a lot of those yellows and oranges, which is well below average amounts of precipitation over the last month. Only a few pockets of more moisture. So we definitely could use a little bit of rain, and we expect to see areas in the Pacific Northwest to probably see some pretty decent rainfall. and also those higher elevation snows. It remains very dry across the desert into the middle portion of the country, but we could see areas of the Great Lakes remain slightly above average.